face of a man who's cunning, resourceful, and deadly.
I just tell people, well, I'm supposed to do this. You know, I don't make it seem like, you know, oh boy, oh joy. I'm like, I thank them and I appreciate your compliment, but it's a part of what I'm supposed to do anyway. You know, I stay in the even keel. You'll never see me do this or do this. I'm not one of them bipolar motherfuckers that's angry one day, next day sitting there crying and shit. I mean, just control your emotions. I mean, say that for the women. For real. Alright. Next one is like honor. Like I hear a lot of cats talk about death before dishonor. I even have them on my videos. On my Facebook page, I have a big picture of a skull with a sword going through it. Like, unfortunately, like, me and mine, we live by this because we've been put in situations like that. Like, we were loyal. We were even loyal, then we found out motherfuckers weren't loyal to us, so I'll just give you, it's a self-explanatory, but I'll give you an explanation. I want to say a loyal to honor, but I'll explain this anyway. There was a time where, like I said, I moved to the city where I moved to, I was telling all my boys and like people who I knew, and like I know people from coast to coast, and I was telling them, look man, at the time where I lived about 10 years, like what's it about 10 years, I say one about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I was telling people that's the time when I separated from old girl. Still separated, ladies, check me out. But anyway, me and old girl separated, so she's on her thing. So I was telling my friends that were getting laid off or in the streets and coming off their biz, where I was like, come out here with me. I was like, y'all can stay here free. I got you guys. Get yourself on your feet. Get yourself a little money. Get out of the situation. And I had dudes that did that. A lot of my dudes came out here. And they, like I said, I didn't ask them for rent. I didn't ask them for nothing. I didn't ask for utilities, ride for cars, or nothing. I didn't ask for that because they're my boys. They're my family members. I don't ask for that. It's a given. But here's where I dropped off. Me and my one dude fell off. Because here, and it's the point of the message. Some people might say it's fucked up. But if you don't understand, you're going to say it's fucked up. There was a time when me and old girl were going through our thing. And I had my ride. And cats were fucking up rides. Man, I know who they were. Couldn't put my finger on it, but it was what it was. And I was going out of town, visiting other people. And I asked my one dude, I said, look man, I said, let me take my ride and park it at your apartment, you know, and for the weekend. I said, I want nothing to happen to the ride because me and old girl going through some dumb shit. He's like, what do you mean? I said, I explained the situation. Most people live in apartments, you know how this goes. If you don't feel comfortable, you can go to your rental office and say, hey, I got a cousin coming in, got a friend coming over, can you park the ride? And they'll either say yes or they'll give you some type of temporary permit parking. That's how it is. They hardly say no if you fucking paying rent. So this one, I let him know like 2 months in advance, and he was like, oh, I'll ask. I was getting to him like 3 weeks into it. I was like, hey man, did you ask? He's like, I'll ask. A month later, did you ask? I'll ask. Well, it came time for him to ask, or time for me to go, time for me to put it up there. He was like, they told me no. Now, me personally, I know he was full of shit. There's no way they're going to tell you no. I don't care what you say. Outside him living in a fucking rich-ass gated community, they ain't going to tell him no. I knew he fucking lied to me. Now, after that, I didn't really fuck with him like that anymore. And he wasn't really how can I put this, won't sound mean? He wasn't really a friend. He was just a dude I knew and I talked to. That's how it was. And like, back home, people were like, well, look, man, that's fucked up. But I only explained the situation to the people in my circle. That was it. Everybody else, I don't give a fuck. You know, hey, if you don't like it, you don't know this story, man, fuck y'all. So, have a little bit of honor to yourself. Be kind of like be loyal. I mean, it don't hurt to be loyal. I may go in depth if people have questions for any of this. I have more, but I'll just go on. Okay. If your friends fuck you over, they weren't your friend to begin with. That is real self-explanatory. If they do kind of mess you over and you still keep them as a friend, then you got to deal with what you got to deal with. If you know that if your boy snaked you and he's still your boy, you got to know that you're dealing with a snake and it's cool. But if he fucks you over again, you can't be mad at him because he fucked you over before and you didn't do nothing about it. If either you nip it in the bud, or that bud's gonna grow.
The face of a man who's cunning, resourceful, and deadly.